All right, everybody, what's up? This is Jack. I'm back. Life happens sometimes, and that's the reason I haven't been on the channel.
Hello, Jack.
Yeah, and anyway, I'm here with Spy, and we are going to be running Elden Hollow 2. It's a 4-man dungeon in Grahtwood, and apologies ahead of time. We have not been in this dungeon for a pretty good while, and we get turned around, and you'll get to see that.
Yeah, we kind of kill them out of order, which is fine.
Yeah.
But we'll go through it with you all.
Yeah, we got lost a little bit, but anyway. So, Consuming Darkness.
Consuming Darkness, huh?
Yeah.
So we're going into Elden Hollow 2, not 1.
Right.
And so, yeah, continuing back up with the dungeon videos.
Yeah. Alright, so, we're both running sorcerers this go around, and
Yeah, King Zip Zap has taken himself off the shelf now.
Yeah.
I've decided to bring him back out.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's been on the channel or not, actually, but he is my sorcerer that I leveled too fast and thus don't know the class very well. He's kind of fun, though. I've been having a lot of fun with him.
This is the dungeon that has probably the most annoying thing in it, which is the rocks, where you jump down. I
Yeah.
really can't stand it.
You know, I think that's in a few dungeons, that exact, like, rock pattern, and I hate it every time.
Yep.
They don't know how to make things not, like, friction real hard. You know, like, even in Cold Harbor.
Yeah. So my sorcerer here is no longer a tank. He
Yeah.
is now an in-progress damage dealer.
So I've been watching you do that over here, and it's been scary. I've been hearing some scary things from you over there with it.
It's turned out to be fairly effective. I don't know if it's like in-game effective just yet or not, but it's gonna get there.
You know, new builds always take time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And that's why, you know, for the Maelstrom video, I had rocked with a pretty good, you know, what I thought was solid. And now I've changed around the Warden even more, and I think it's even better now. But, you know, it's one of those things that you, over time, you just have to keep adding on to a build to figure out what you need.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you gotta you gotta constantly work to be improving it. And funny enough, I don't know if you had noticed it or not, but somebody has requested that you cover the build.
Yeah, I did see that, and so I will be making another Warden build guide here soon, not too far off, and probably next week. The thing with the Warden is that, you know, it's constantly evolving and changing just to the play style that I'm doing, depending on what I'm doing at the moment.
Alright, so we are coming up on the first boss, which is Dubroze the Infestor. This particular boss has got a flame breath that hurts a whole lot, and I do believe, if I remember correctly, you get to see that, yep, where he's burning me down here. I recover fairly quickly from running crit surge, so anytime I crit, it heals me for like 3,000 health, but you definitely don't want to stand in that. And then, like most of this dungeon, there's a lot of casters as far as trash mobs go, and
And there you are with me getting hit with the flame breath. That thing hurt pretty bad.
It does, yes.
So I know that you know, I'm still working out a lot of my sorcerer, but I just cannot take damage as you could with, you know, when you were wearing the Gaze of Sithis. That helmet just really overpowered that tank that you had.
Yeah. So he's not, anyway, the first boss is not really all that bad. He's just got one ability you definitely don't want to stand in. And then followed by Dark Root. Some basic mechanics. It's got Radiated Beam, where the boss rains down beams onto the targets randomly. And you get a big white flash from it, which, you know, you can see it's all on screen. It's probably not a real good idea to stack, because this is one of those mechanics, if you're stacked up, you take more damage.
Yeah, careful placement seems to be very important in this one. Elden Hollow 1's not so bad, but Elden Hollow 2 has really been punishing a lot on placement and where you're standing, and we'll see that later on with some of the other bosses.
Yeah, that's definitely true in regards to the last boss. That's the biggest one I can remember from Elden Hollow 1 where it matters. Because you get, sucked into the ground with the undead and all that stuff. But as you can see, there's also these Horvers that are a little bit overpowered in comparison to regular ones. The ones you normally would encounter, they spawn. They have very low damage, but they give you bonuses. So they have an aura, a blue and a green aura representing the magicka and stamina that you get from killing them.
So essentially, you probably want to kill them. The blue ones for the magicka casters.
Yes.
Yeah.
This dungeon overall is fairly, it's fairly straightforward and basic, which kind of seems silly a little bit later. You run into Bannikins and a lot of Dremora and stuff like that.
No, Bannikin.
Right. And
we'll start seeing a lot of these portals coming up pretty soon, and the portals will really start to give us a little bit of trouble because they don't. It's not that they're hard to kill; it's that they slowly feed out enemies.
Yeah. They definitely. That was. It's been quite a while since I remember being in here, which is contributed to part of me getting turned around.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really remember this dungeon very much until we just ran it, and it just didn't stick for me last time, I guess.
So now we're up to Azura the Frightener. It's a Twilight boss that's, it's fairly straightforward and simple. You got casters that spawn. The boss has a heavy attack that's, it's fairly simple. Just watch for it. Be sure to block it, otherwise you get knocked back. DPS and healer can take it as long as they block it. And then you have
Shadows. The sorcerers that come out, right? They are the sorcerer ones that will spawn out, and you see me pulling them in every now and then with the Dark Convergence actually.
Yeah, so there's two different things that spawn here actually. So you might be talking about the casters in particular, but there's also shadows that will fear you.
I did take fears on this boss, and I honestly at the time didn't know exactly what was going on.
Yeah, so that's one of the mechanics. It's you got add spawns, you got a heavy attack, and then you gotta watch for the shadows.
Right. Most bosses have heavy and light attacks. It kind of just depends.
Yeah. So we just ran through one of the portals that we were talking about, and this is about the time that we get turned around, or shortly after. There's a whole lot of stuff here doing a whole lot of damage, and it got real sticky there for a minute.
Yeah, I see your health pool's dropping real low. Thing is, I'm over here trying to stun things with, the zip zaps, blinks through everything. And, I will say, if you can bring a sorcerer with, or any kind of group stun, it'd be fantastic here. There's a lot of large trash mobs that would just be great to DPS down.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, Necrotic Orb was doing great for you as well. I did notice that, and I was using the combustion on it, and it was definitely doing some good damage on the massive amounts of enemies that we're fighting.
Yeah, so this build here is, it's not completely ironed out yet, but it is very crit chance heavy at the moment. Once I get the crit chance all lined out and everything, then I'm going to focus a little bit more into crit damage. So Necrotic Orb on this build is quite a bit more effective than it was whenever I was using it as a tank.
Oh, so you're going down the crit route, huh?
Yeah, I mean, damage is king really in everything, but crit in particular is king in PvE content.
Right, less so in PvP
resistance.
with all the stacking of what's it called?
Impenetrable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's one of those things that I do like crit. That's the one thing I think most people know about my warden is that
Oh yeah.
he's a full-on crit build.
Yeah. And this is a good example of it. Like neither one of us are tanking here, and we're just burning the dungeon down. And
Right.
because we're producing enough damage, that's possible.
Right, and that's why I ran Dark Convergence in here. Like I said before, you know, I'm still trying to iron out and work out a lot of this class because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet.
Right.
And even though I'm max level, you know, I'm still trying to learn this class more than anything. That's also why you haven't seen a build from me on it.
Yeah.
And, you know, because I want to figure out the class first. And like I said with the Warden, you know, he's my main. That's why he's always changing.
Right.
So with this character, you know, I'm just trying to basically bring the stuff that will AoE. And that's why I brought, you know, Dark Convergence. Even though it's a PvP set, it does have some really good potential in dungeons.
Oh, absolutely. At first I was I didn't really realize what was causing the pull, but I mean the pull is has a lot of utility in this.
Yeah.
Because there are so many, you know, ads.
You know, there are a lot of, you know, abilities out there that have
where we
pulls.
get confused.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? You know, I was debating between Silver Leashes, on Silver Leash actually for the Warden for a little while, and you know, reality when it comes to it, I mean, Dark Convergence is just a fantastic pull.
Oh yeah, it is. It's that like group pull effect is the reason that I plan on getting the Void Bash set or the Dragonite tank.
Yeah, we were talking about that off the channel for a little while, you know, just me and you, about the Void Bash, and that set seems awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it just genuinely seems like an interesting set, and that's a newer set, right?
It's a Bastion Hollow's weapon set.
Oh.
And I can't speak personally to when exactly Bastion Hollows was introduced, but
yeah, you came to the
think
game after that, right? After it came out.
yeah, but the utility of it, because of certain things getting nerfed, because like leashes and chains and stuff they don't taunt anymore.
Right.
People are looking into, like tanks specifically, are looking into ways to like pull in. So like, you know, you could combine the Void Bash set, which is like, you know, group pull, and then you throw down caltrops, and then now they're kind of sort of, you know, they're not exactly stuck, but
yeah,
they're not going to get away quickly, so, you know, DPS can burn them down.
Now this boss is the one I was talking about, where it's very much just, I mean, placement.
This right here, this hurt a lot.
Yeah,
So-
I end up dying actually. It's not pretty.
Well, I mean, when you have a build, you know, it's not completely worked out. Like it kind of worried me a little bit, because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to survive this either.
You know, I was going to bring the Templar since he's a healer now, but I decided against it just for no reason other than I've been playing the Templar a lot recently.
Right. So this is Murklight. It's a lurcher. You got a heavy attack. It's a simple mechanic. You should block it, otherwise you get knocked down. And again, even DPS, you know, can deal with it. It has cleave, which is likely
there's my death.
Yeah, like the cleave is likely what killed you. Because as a DPS, you don't exactly want to be in it. It's where he swipes in front of him and applies a stifle knockback effect.
Oh.
So, okay, maybe that's not exactly what killed you, but yeah, see, look, I get close here.
Yeah, right there, right after this blind effect, I started dropping health pretty quickly, and I had to start healing.
Yeah, I was trying to like frag proc and just throw crystal frag so I could crit and heal back up pretty quickly, but
these are two currently still building sorcerers, so you know they definitely have their ups and downs. I mean, the power of yours is definitely showing through though.
The so Murklight has a double purpose AoE. It seems, you know, fairly simple, but places AoEs on the ground, which you really need to stay out of, and does a lot of damage. So I'm going to say gonna retract my first statement and say that was likely what caused your death.
Yeah, I can't quite tell by the footage, but I think I did stand in it a little bit. I mean, probably did, and so standing in it probably applied that to me and really screwed me over.
Yeah.
Like I said before, when we, earlier, I'm still kind of trying to remember this dungeon.
Yeah. It's definitely been quite a while.
It has been, yeah.
I get Elden Hollow 1 a lot in random queues, but not very often anyway.
No.
So here we have Shadow Guard. This is one of those stack and burn fests. You can see a lot of AoE on the ground. There's a lot of casters that spawn. There's initially 4 adds in the room, all of which cast ranged abilities. You have a heavy attack, and then there's a ground AoE, which is, the boss places a ground AoE on the ground, and it does a nasty poison damage effect. Just make a point to stay out of it. It should be fairly easy to see. Try not to run around too much, and watch where your feet are.
Yeah, that's really the important thing on these later bosses, and even the first, couple of them. It's definitely difficult. Now this area right here, this place just looks awesome. I think this looks
They did a good job with this, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean the art team always knocks it out of the park with ESO. So I mean, except for animations sometimes, right? I mean animations like to break and stuff like that. But I mean the visually, the zones and areas always look fantastic.
All right, so Bogdan the Nightmare. This is the final boss of the dungeon and can be challenging.
Yeah.
And just so everybody's aware, you can fall off the cliff. He can knock you off of it. So he has a heavy attack. It's got the same visual effects as any other heavy attack. He's got flames, which, when you see him raise his head into the air, the fireball's on its way.
Yeah, whenever that would hit me, right there, that one would really just hurt. No, it wasn't the flame. That wasn't the fireball, was it? What is that effect?
So he's got a jump. There are also healers, which is, it's a rather annoying mechanic anytime that a boss has healers. And this boss also has shadows again, which will fear you. You need to kill him so that doesn't happen. But
right. So every time he jumped, I mean, you could see I would fall down quite quickly. I would fall down to I think I was half health from it, and I had a good 27,000 somewhere around there health pool. Yeah. And so, even if you are a pretty defensive character, that jump can really hurt.
So the jump is something that you want to, number one, try to not be standing in any fire and do your best to block, because it'll keep you alive.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was using block with my shield specifically. I wasn't trying to use the ice staff on it.
And one little quirk to this is when he does the jump, it wipes the battlefield. So if there are shadows or healers or anything like that, it's basically a reset, and from there you have a rinse and repeat process essentially.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, it's not. But
we have healers, so I guess it's only fair that he does too. But we didn't have healers this time.
No. But that is Elden Hollow 2. If you enjoy the content, we'll make sure we get the timestamps down in the video if there's a particular boss or anything you're looking at, that you would like to know more about, just it specifically. There'll be timestamps for it. If you enjoyed it and would like to see more content like this, go ahead and like and subscribe. Doing so helps get this information out to the other players or to the player base, and that's really what we're here for.
Yep. Look, if 2 sorcerers can do it and one's an Argonian, I'm sure you can too.
Yeah. So that's it, and that's all I've got.
Yeah, same here.
All right, we will see you guys in the next video.
See ya.
All right, guys, we did not forget So I'm going to cover the sets real quick. You have Chokethorn, comes out of Elden Hollow 1. You get 124 Magicka recovery for the 1 piece, and 2 piece is when you use a heal ability, you have a 33% chance to summon a Strangler sapling that heals you or an ally for 16,000. Nightflame is Elden Hollow 2, which is 1,058 max Magicka. The 2-piece bonus, you have a 20% chance to summon a totem for 6 seconds that heals you and your allies within 5 meters for 1,642 health every 1 second. The next set, the medium set, is the Barkskin set, which is 1136 max health, 121 stamina recovery, 1401 armor, and reduces the duration of immobilizations and snares applied to you by 50%. When one is applied for you, you heal and restore 808 stamina. The light set is the light speaker set, which is 618 crit chance for the 2-piece, 1032 max Magicka for the 3-piece, 121 weapon and spell damage for the 4-piece, and 565 spell damage added to your restoration staff abilities. Then the heavy set is the Undaunted Bastion, which is 1136 max health, 1401 armor for the 2 and 3, or the 3 and the 4-piece set. And then when you use a taunt ability under 75% health, you gain a damage shield that absorbs 13,000 damage for 6 seconds, and it can occur every 10 seconds. And then on the map, just for reference, there are several ways, as we always talk about. There's a couple of ways to get into all these dungeons. This particular one is in Elden Root and Grahtwood, which is right here on the map, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see exactly where. So in Grahtwood, Elden Root is like dead smack in the middle. You can transport or fast travel directly to the dungeon. You can go to the way shrine and walk up to the front door, and then you can also, through the dungeon finder, you can possibly land in it through the random daily, but you can also go down and go to specific dungeons and pull up and just queue strictly for Elden Hollow 2, and that will get you in. It may take a little longer, but you have several different ways to go about getting in. So alright guys, see y'all in the next video.